I'm about to say something which will absolutely piss off every single remote cleaning course guru out there trying to sell you something. The cleaning business is not easy money. In fact, 80% of cleaning business owners shut down in their first year. I spent 12 years scaling my cleaning business from 0 to 150,000 per month in monthly recurring revenue and learned these 5 truths about the business. Now, I can guarantee you, if you understand these truths and implement them today, it will save you hundreds of thousands of dollars and years of trial and error. Crazy part is I haven't even heard anyone talk about number 4. Let's go and start off with truth number 1 right now. You are running a staffing and recruiting business, not a cleaning business. Now, when it comes to this model, here's the hierarchy of what you actually are when you're in business. Number 1, you're a staffing and recruiting business. Number 2, you are a marketing business. And very last, number 3, you're an actual cleaning business. That's just the end product. Here's what I mean by that. By far, the most important part of this business is how well you recruit. A lot of people think this business model is mops, buckets, sweeping, vacuuming, office supplies, things like that. That's the wrong visual of what this is. This is purely a recruitment business. Knowing that sets you up for success more than anyone else, because what you're actually providing is really, really good recruiting. If you do marketing and you get 20 jobs, but you don't have enough cleaners to service them, half those jobs go away. Or let's say the cleaners you do on board, you only have 1 or 2, they're not that good, they're kind of whatever, but you don't have anyone else, so you send them to this job, then you lose those jobs. That's not how to build a sustainable model. Your product is the crews you employ, the cleaners you bring on, whoever you recruit. Therefore, you got to make sure your product is really, really good before you crank up marketing and before you optimize the cleaning process. So the better you can make your recruiting process, that's how the whole engine runs. Most people focus on that last. They're like, oh, I got 1 cleaner, I'll turn on marketing, I'll find another cleaner, and I'll keep going back and forth. The truth is, constantly optimize your recruiting funnel, because this entire business model is a recruiting business model. Once you have a pretty good recruiting fundamental model and you're focused on finding the best people in your market, next you will become a marketing agency, because your goal is now to fill those people's schedule with leads and with customers and with marketing and sales and things like that. So you got to shift your mind and get really good at marketing next. The very last piece of the puzzle is the actual service you provide. Finding the right people, getting the right customers, matching them together, that's the entire game. Truth number 2, low prices mean low quality customers. Now, when I started, my strategy was, oh, maybe I could just charge the least amount so customers sign up with me. So I was charging $55 per job, paying out to the contractor $40 a job. And so I'd make $15 and I thought, oh my God, this is great. I made beer money. This is fine. That doesn't take into account how much time I invested in the job, how much I spent on marketing, all that kind of stuff. It was terrible, right? That's how I operated because I was an amateur business owner at the time. The truth was I started attracting lower quality customers, people who were just shopping for the best price. Typically, people who shop for the best price oftentimes are the pickiest. It's a weird truth about human psychology, about life and generally how it goes. The people who want to pay the least amount are generally the worst customers. If that's true, you might as well charge higher because you probably get a higher customer and more profits. The best business owners start charging premium rates early on. Why? Because then you have more money to pay for better teams, to pay for better experience for the customer. And that comes by charging them accordingly. If you think you're going to beat the competition by becoming a commodity and going to the lowest price, it's not going to work. It's not a sustainable model. What I want you to do is charge at the higher end of your market. You might not get as many customers. You might need to work on your sales script more. You might need to increase the value of what you're offering to people. So it's not just cleaning, but it's cleaning plus a guarantee, plus an air freshener, like whatever you want to do. Increase the value of your product, charge a higher amount, use the higher profits to pay yourself, pay your cleaners well, make the customer experience incredible, and provide value to everyone. This is the number one biggest mistake I see people make, is they think pricing is a differentiator. It's not. So get the best customers, even if it's a little bit slower, and grow your business that way, the right way, so it's actually sustainable for you. By the way, if you want a link to my exact pricing strategy and how to think about this, I made a whole separate video about that. Check it in the link below, somewhere over here. You will find a link to that in this video. Truth number 3, one-time cleanings are fool's gold. Now, when I first started, we were taking every possible job which would come in, and I was totally fine that these were one-time cleanings. I didn't even try to make them recurring cleanings. I just thought, oh great, I'm charging you $300, I'm paying the cleaner $150. Amazing, I made a bunch of money. This is awesome. What I didn't think about at the time was that there's so many fees involved with acquiring that customer. I'm paying for marketing, I'm paying for my time to help staff it, I'm paying for the recruiting. Of course, I'm paying the laborer, the cleaner. There's software overhead. There's so many things. So my profit isn't that actually 50% or 150, whatever it is, it's significantly lower. And what I realized way too late is in this model, all the money is in recurring. The value of your business is based on recurring revenue. The stability of your business is based on it. So if you're just selling very low ticket meaning like $200, $300 or under, and it's all one-time sales, that is a bad business model to be in. The real money here comes with recurring. The best way you could do that is figure out what percent of your customers you're able to convert to a recurring plan and then keep them happy. It takes a while, right? Maybe for every 5 sales, you get 1 or 2 recurring. You might think, dude, this is going to take forever. But that recurring stays for a long time as long as you keep them happy. Then you get another one, then you get another one, then you get another one. You don't have to constantly hunt. If you get only one-time customers and you're okay with that, you're hunting every day for new business to make money. And look, costs go up. We've had marketing costs go from like $10 to $50 overnight because Google decides to change something. Now, if that's the case, all of a sudden your one-time sales are no longer profitable. And the only way you will be sustainable is by having recurring customers. So one-time customers are fine to get the ball rolling and to get a little bit of money coming in and keep people busy. The real game is, how do I get as many recurring customers as possible? Truth number 4, your competition is not another cleaning company down the street. Now, this is something which took me a long time to grasp, right? You think you're competing against other people. A customer calls you and says, hey, I need a service done for my home. You give them a price, like, oh, I'll shop around or I'll think about it, let me get back to you. In your mind, you're thinking about a phantom business owner that they're calling on the other hand, securing the deal with them, and all of a sudden, it's just competitive edge, right? You're like, oh my God, I'm losing all this business to these mythical other competitors I don't really know, but they're kind of out there. The truth is, there's enough room for everyone in this model because things get dirty all the time. There's enough homes to clean. There's enough move-in, move-outs, apartment cleanings, Airbnbs, office cleanings. They get dirty over and over and over. The real risk, the real competitor is not the cleaning company down the street. It's the homeowner deciding that they're going to do it themselves. Many times people call and, maybe they're not convinced enough on the phone that this is actually what they need. And so they're like, you know what, I'm just going to do it myself. I don't want to deal with this hassle. And they do it themselves. More often than not, that's actually the case rather than someone actually calling around for a cheaper price. You need to convince them that this is not just a sale of a cleaning service, right? When you start to think, I need to beat my competitors, that's when you think, oh my God, I better go down in price. I got to outlast the competitors. You're not doing that. You're convincing the customer they need your service so they could have their weekends back with their kids, so they could have more free time to relax because they actually deserve it because they've been working hard all week. Many times people say, I'm going to call around and ask for a quote. And a common thing I do on the phone would be saying, cool, hey, I'm just curious, like, how much is your time worth? Because if you try to call these other companies, it's going to take you a while to save maybe $20. And the truth is, I'll have you on the phone here. I have the slot open. If you'd like to give us a try, I'll make sure you're happy. You get a guarantee and all that kind of good stuff. But why don't we just make it happen right now instead of you having to call just to save a few bucks? Convincing the customer and letting them understand, like, hey, don't call someone else. Don't try to do it yourself. Let's just get it done right now. That's the best way of going about it. But the truth is, your competitors, your quote unquote cleaning competitors, are actually going to be your partners. There's so many businesses I work with who refer business back and forth because the truth is there's enough room for everyone. Truth number 5, this is a long-term game, not a get-rich-quick scheme. So many people online are trying to sell the dream of having a remote cleaning business where the truth is it takes a while to make something really profitable. You might have a couple quick sales and make a few bucks here, but if you want to have real, lasting, sustainable change in life, if you want to build a lifestyle freedom vehicle for yourself that achieve financial freedom to travel the world, to have money coming in, quote unquote, passively, you need to invest time into this. This is not a short, get-rich-quick scheme. Now, there's a concept I learned after a decade of being in business, which is really stuck with me. It's the concept of present bank, future bank, and big bank. Typically, the cool part in entrepreneurship and business ownership is earnings don't just move linearly, right? In a 9 to 5, you get your 3% raises per year, depending if your boss likes you, maybe a bonus. It moves very linearly. The cool part in business ownership is those rules don't exist. You could go like this. You could go like this. You could also go like this. So things don't move as linearly. Now, there's 3 different ways of making money in business and entrepreneurship that we have access to, which normal 9 to 5ers don't have access to. Number 1 is present bank. That's the money you're getting today. You sell a service for $300, you pay your labor $150, you make $150. That's real money you get today. Great. That's fantastic. Everyone understands that concept. Now let's talk about future bank. That one customer you just sold. From them, you might be able to resell them another service, maybe a recurring package in the future. Maybe they're going to give you referrals in the future. Maybe they'll also give you Google reviews. So the value of that customer is not just the present value of that money. It's all the money you're going to get in the future. Now, realize that money is very real. It just hasn't happened yet. But you will remarket to them. Maybe they will become a recurring customer. You will get referrals from them. That is locked in for you, right? And that's ready to roll. You just have to action it and make it happen. The last way is what I call a big bank. Every customer you close, every email you add to your CRM, all the future recurring revenue lock in, you've now increased the equity value of your business. Your business is worth more. And at some point, years down the line, maybe a couple years down the line, who knows, you might be able to sell that for a big chunk of money as well. And you get access to all three of those wealth building machines by being in the game of entrepreneurship. The same thing we tell all of our franchisees is this is a game for the long term. Right? If you're in here to make a quick buck, start it yourself. There's no point in buying a franchise. But if you want real lasting change, a real business model which serves you, get in the game and understand the way it works with Present Bank, Future Bank, and Big Bank. Why is this not a get rich quick scheme? Why does it take some time? The truth is things compound over time, right? The law of compounding where, and an easy example is let's say you get 1% better every day. From day 1 to day 2, it seems like moderate returns and you don't really see how much you're growing. But because things compound, I think like if you look at the chart after a year, you've grown 37 times from where you started just by compounding at 1% per day. For example, let's say you start off, you have 0 reviews, you have a few reviews maybe from friends and family, you don't have as much social proof. Leads are coming in, but it's kind of hard. People don't exactly know you. You don't have referrals coming in. So you're paying for leads, you're scrapping by and trying to make money. That's typically the first stage of this model. At some point, maybe you get 100 reviews, 200 reviews. You're starting to get ranked online. People are starting to refer you to different people. People are like, oh, I used you before. I'm just going to use you again because it's easier. All of a sudden, things become a lot easier, right? Things start coming to you much easier. That takes time, though. There's no way you could fully accelerate building trust with so many different people at once. On top of that, at some point, you'll have a large amount of recurring revenue coming in which case you have more money to even make the product even better and provide better support for customers, which accelerates things as well. The truth is the real money comes later. It's not at the beginning. And anyone trying to sell you a get rich quick scheme when cleaning, yeah, you can make a few bucks here and there, but that's not the real game. The real cool part of this model is that it's durable. It's been around for thousands of years. I know people who've had their cleaning business for 30, 40 years. They have it as a passive income source. They put a general manager in the place. They're letting it run. A lot of our franchisees that made this are aspiring to that as well. They bought a couple territories. They're building it up themselves. They eventually will put a general manager in place and let it run. That's the same thing I did with my organization in Los Angeles. We have a general manager in place now who's helping operate a lot of the business as well. So keep in mind that this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is a long-term durable model. Look, if there's anything I want you to take away from this, it's not that the cleaning business is hard. In fact, it's very simple, but that doesn't mean it's easy. If you treat this like a real business, it could have long-lasting, durable income for you and your family for years to come. Now, I made a completely free mini course on how to actually launch this yourself. Check it out and let me know what you think. And again, if you like this video, if you like what I'm putting out, hit the subscribe button, share this, and I'll catch you in the next video.